So now while our gochujang chicken is cooking, we're gonna make the soba noodles, and this is so good. I really love it as a side, but it makes a nice base, like I said. But the reason why I started making this was because I had gone to Montauk up near the Hamptons, and at one of the specialty stores, about a quart container cost about $15 for a soba noodle salad, and I thought I can make it better and also cheaper. But I mean, it is the Hamptons, so you have to roll with it. But this is really flavorful, and it's not much cooking and not much cutting. You just need to cook the soba noodles, and soba noodles are a Japanese type of noodle, and they are buckwheat. Soba means buckwheat in Japanese, and they're really healthy and really good for you. So it's a good way to be kind of healthy with a different type of noodle or pasta, I would say. But what you need for this is you need about 3 tablespoons of sesame seeds. I have a mix of white and black sesame seeds that we'll toast up just so it'll get a nice flavor. And then you need about 2 cups of scallions that we'll cut 2 different ways, and that's really the only hard part of this. Then you need about 1 tablespoon of canola oil or olive oil, and then 1 tablespoon of sugar, and then you're going to need 1/3 of a cup of soy sauce, and then you need 2 tablespoons of rice wine vinegar seasoned, and then you also need 1 tablespoon of sesame oil. And basically what we're going to do is just make that marinade. We're going to cook our soba noodles. I have a pot on to boil, and soba noodles cook really fast, so they don't take about 8 to 10 minutes. They take about 4 to 5, so you just have to watch it. And I noticed for me, like, one person could easily eat just half of 1 stick, so we'll make this will call for 2 to 3 of these portions, but you can make a lot of it and bring it to a potluck, and it's going to be awesome. So it is a little loud, sorry, because of the air fryer, but we want to be efficient and do 2 or 3 things at the same time. So let's get this started. What we're going to do now is cut the scallions, take off the ends. This bottom portion we're going to cut really thinly. We're going to mince it up. That's going to really impart this flavor to the marinade mix. The great thing about this marinade, it has a little bit of soy, a little bit of sugar, a little bit of rice wine vinegar, so it's going to hit a lot of notes. So when you're eating it, it's really fresh and refreshing. It's not heavy, so love that. Add that in there. So this is minced scallion, and then we're going to cut the rest of the scallions at a diagonal, and this will be used to kind of at the end just kind of garnish it. I've made this before where I've added edamame pods to it, and it's really good too. So you can dress it up how you want, but this is the most simplified version of it. We're going to set this aside. So now our water is boiling, so we'll put our soba noodles in, and while they're cooking, we'll finish up this sauce that goes with it, and then we'll check on our chicken as well. So let's go to. So now our soba noodles are ready. It only took about 4 to 5 minutes. So actually I didn't make the mix yet because I wanted to make sure that the soba noodles didn't overcook, but you want to make sure that they're al dente or they're not too mushy because you don't want them to be soggy. So we're going to pour it out in the colander, then we're going to rinse it out so we get the starch out. So now our soba noodles is done. 2 little noodle packs gave us this much, so it's quite a lot. We gotta toast our sesame seeds. The reason why we toast the sesame seeds is just to bring out that nutty flavor. And you have to watch it or else it's gonna burn, so you just do pretty fast. It just takes a minute or 2. Makes all the difference. So if you don't toast it, it's like nuts that you haven't roasted yet, so it's worth it. You know it's ready when the sesame seed takes on kind of a golden color. So this is kind of the color we're looking for. Just put it here so you can kind of see. our sesame seeds are toasted, and what we'll do now is we'll add the sesame oil, the seasoned rice vinegar, and the soy sauce all together, and the sugar, and we'll mix it up, and then we just mix everything together. We'll add 2 tablespoons of rice wine vinegar, add our tablespoon of sugar, then we'll add 3 tablespoons of sesame oil, and a tablespoon of vegetable or canola or olive oil, mix, and then 1/3 of a cup of soy sauce. It smells so good. It's that sesame oil. It's a nice nutty flavor to it. Now what we're going to do is we're just going to add it in, pour it in, mix it up. And it sounds like a lot of oil, but that really helps to make sure that the soba noodles don't stick together. And you want to do a little taste. Very flavorful. It's really light and refreshing. It's not too heavy, which I love. Okay, now we'll add our sesame seeds. The sesame seeds adds a nice little crunch to it, so, and also it looks like black and white confetti, which is nice too. Okay, and then we add our scallions. Let's save some just a top at the end. Super simple, but also super good. So let's plate this. So good. So you reserve a little bit so you can sprinkle on top. There you have it. This is our soba noodles. You can eat it cold or hot as a salad. And then we're gonna check on our chicken, and so we can put it all together so that we can have a nice lunch. So now our chicken is done, our soba noodles is done. It's gonna be a great lunch. So I love this chicken, the way that it has the charry bits on it. And because it's air fried, you know it's a little bit healthier than if you were to fry it, but do this. Take a little piece of this. So good. There's no delicate way to eat this. It's just perfect. It has a little bit of the saltiness from the soy. And the seasoned rice with vinegar just gives it a little bit of a nice tang. And the crunch of the sesame seeds just makes it so fun. It's just almost addicting. I find that when I make this, I just want to eat it almost every day for the week, and then I get sick of it and then go through another cycle where I'm like, oh, I want to eat that. Just have to make sure you don't have sesame seeds in your teeth. The chicken, I really like to see charry bits on my meat, so I like to cook it to that point, but you can always, if you don't like it as much, you can cook it less, but it'll be so yummy. Because this is chicken thighs, it's going to be so juicy. So good. It's tender, it's not dry. It has a little bit of a kick from the gochujang and also the pepper that we added. It's a little bit sweet, which is really a nice flavor. That to me is a perfect lunch. I don't know what more you can ask for. It's healthy, it's light, it's fast, and it's something that you can do ahead of time and freeze the chicken after you've marinated and just take it out and cook it whenever you're ready or have a hankering for it. And these noodles I just make sometimes and I just leave it in the fridge in case I want to eat it just as a snack, a light salad or whatnot. And this chicken really goes well with this, but also really good with just a bowl of white rice. So you have a lot of options. Hopefully you get a chance to try it, and thank you so much for joining us. Hopefully we'll see you again next time.